Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Cielo.
Hey, Jody. Hi, Blissful Love Gang.
Hi, Blissful Love Gang, Blissful Love Mastery. I'm
Yes,
so excited. I'm so excited always every time we talk. I mean, always have the best conversations, and that's really what spawned this to come into public fruition because we're always having these really great conversations that help both of us so much. So we decided to have some conversations in a way that others could maybe benefit from them as well.
yes, yes. And also just speaking it out, I feel always helps us because we get to get each other's perspectives, which is just a reflection of ourselves, and then hearing it in a different way sometimes I find clicks better. I mean, that's I feel like a lot of beautiful teachers in this realm do the same thing where you'll talk it out with each other because then that accesses the certain parts of your quote unquote brain to process better.
Yeah, I feel that that's very true. I was going to say, it's a good suggestion for people to find, even one person, friend, acquaintance um that is on the same sort of is in the same realm of understanding or consciousness. Yeah, and has the ability to be non-judgmental and neutral and
Yes.
loving and listening and um, uplifting and encouraging and curious with the questions. Whereas, sometimes people have conversations and we can notice that others maybe get concerned or they worry or they ask questions that are like, how are you going to do that? Those kind of questions.
Hmm.
Find yourself somebody that you can talk to that is helping with the clarity instead of confining or limiting.
Yes. Yes. And beyond any logic, like I think one thing that you and I always do is that we will always speak. Well, as much as we can, we'll speak from the end, knowing that absolutely we are being held to the utmost highest good for ourselves with absolute conviction, no judgment, no, oh, this may happen, or oh, maybe you should go smaller. We're always continuously saying, be bolder, be bigger, let's go. So it is really important.
Yeah,
Even if you only have yourself, voice note yourself, talking to yourself, the best.
is very true. Because I
Well,
think too, don't you notice that when you say it out loud or it's true, whether you're saying it to yourself, voicing it to yourself, that's a very good suggestion as well. If you really don't have anyone around you or near you or on the phone or anything, you can hear yourself. I feel like when you have to say it out loud, you catch your limitations a lot
yes,
easier
exactly.
because you
You
can hear
do, you
yourself and
do.
you're like, oh, what am I saying?
Where's that one coming from? We should maybe take a look at her. It's so true. It's so true. And I also feel like right now there has been, I mean, I think for both of us too, and if, because of that, all reflection and reality is there's been a big release of these patterns of fear and caring about what other people's, opinions are, what they think and what they feel about us because I don't know for you, but for me, I used to have that belief that, oh, I can't bother anyone. I don't want to take up space. I want to be out of their way. And now it's like I'm the way. I'm in the space for a reason. I am the one. So I'm walking in with that energy. And so everything that doesn't align with that, I feel like has been outpictured in order for us to make those new decisions of being even bolder and more in love with who we are. That's the theme.
Yeah. And, when you are aware of who you are, and if you're claiming
Mhm.
or because you're claiming, I am blissful love, or I am all that is, or I am the chosen one, or whatever it is you'd like to say, we've been highlighting blissful love just because it feels so good. It feels very
Yes.
good to be in bliss and to claim yourself as love, which we know ourselves to be. It just feels good. And that
It does.
ripples out, like we were talking earlier this morning. It's like you are the pebble. You feel like you're that center point of that blissful love. And when I claim that, I see it and feel it ripple out to everything around me. So just like you were saying, whether something comes up in your environment to show you who you are, it doesn't always look like, oh, it's so smooth sailing. Like
Mhm.
it sometimes is like, oh, exactly what you said. This is an opportunity for me to choose who who I am in this now
Exactly.
moment, because that was also what we were talking about was it really only matters what you're saying right now.
Exactly. There's only now. So the moment you say something different, that's exactly the reality you're choosing. I feel like that's the part though that's so weird and difficult for people to understand. I mean, even me, because we are so conditioned to thinking that time is real. But really, every time you claim something, it really actually is here and now. It's just that we're so good at dividing our attention in a million ways that we're a million, the million ways are being created. So we never see the one way progressing, or not even
Exactly.
progressing, but we don't allow it at all.
Yeah.
So, it's
And
just
we're all over the place,
exactly.
so, like, yeah, without the focused attention, discipline, and in the best way, I mean, discipline out of love, like,
Yes.
I just prefer to arrange my mind in this way, like, that
Yes.
is it. And so if it goes in, I claim this 1 minute and then the next minute, "Oh, but this," or then I see, let's put it in quotes, "evidence of this," so then it changed my mind over here. Like, that's how I feel like most awarenesses are operating, you know,
Totally.
in
Totally.
this willy-nilly unconsciousness of all over the place. And so when you decide that you're going to keep claiming over and over again and knowing with that knowingness and that just calm conviction, it doesn't have to be, I mean, some people you can get a little feisty, you can get a little fired up about it. It's
I
okay.
like a little
Sometimes
fire
that does
sometimes.
help, it helps us to be like, no, I'm this, you know, it does. But after a while, you're just like, nah,
Exactly.
mm, I'm
No,
this.
exactly. And I feel like that's the more confident you get in yourself, the more you're just like, "Okay, yeah, 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 cool, cool. Cool thought, cool story. That's fine with me. This is actually how it is." I feel like actually, that just reminded me so much of how I used to, quote, unquote, "be," and I feel like this is so relatable to many people, is just like when you're I guess if you wanna relate it to a weight loss journey, which is also really funny to think of, but if you are relating it to a weight loss journey, what do most people do at the beginning? "Let's go hard, gym, cut out this food, eat this. I'm 7 days a week, intensity on level 100. Let's get very serious about this, blah, 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 blah." It's this, like, energy of, like, a hardcore gym bro, but then over time, you're kind of like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm naturally just I'm fit, it's who I am." So then you start to realize the balance of, "Oh, I don't really wanna go today, I'm not gonna go today, rest is important." And I feel like with this, it's the same. It's at first, it's like you have those voices fighting back harder because, yeah, of course, you've been a certain way for so long, ego is trying to keep you safe, so it's going to bring the fire, so then you bring the fire even more. But then you get to a
Hmm.
point where you're like, "I'm not really bothered because I know now that that's not even true, and it doesn't have to be what I identify with." And the moment you do that, you just take it lightly, and then because of that, it doesn't really come back anymore. Or if it does, it's a very light situation, and you can immediately choose what you want and move on completely. Like you can have a moment that would trip you up for months, be a second decision. And I feel like that's what happens over time when you build that muscle of attention.
It's very true. That's a really good way to put it. I see it like you've upped your set point, like when you really
Yes.
have changed who you are. Your energy has changed, your frequency has changed, your awareness has changed. You have a greater, a broader, I don't know what the word is, but like a broader vision of awareness. I don't know how to say
Mhm.
it. Like more light. You have more light. You can see more things.
Yes.
When you can see more, you don't react. You can see it coming. You're like, oh yeah, you again. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly, exactly, and that's I feel like that's such a freeing place to be in, but again, for anyone here who isn't really thinking that they're at that point yet, it 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 really gets there the more you stop focusing on the fact that it's fighting back and you more focus on where you wanna keep your attention, and then eventually you just get so lost in this process that you're married to that version of yourself, and you don't even realize it fighting anymore, and that's, I feel, what makes it
Right.
go easier versus
It's a
w anything
sorry.
else.
Yeah.
No, no, go, yes.
Yeah. Sorry. It brought up this, you saying that. It's so good. It's bringing to mind what we were also talking about, ties in very, very well, is where where are you doing any action from? Like, where are you
Mm,
taking these choices from? Like,
yes.
what is informing these choices? So I want to say that it also makes it, let's say, easier for on yourself when you can align yourself, know who you are, and then you're taking the choices from that state, like out of love. Like, I'm working out because this is the most loving thing for me.
Yes.
When you're making the choice out of lack, like I got to do this because I don't like it, I got to change it. It's fine. That works. It can work, but I feel like that is way less sustainable. And
Mhm.
because the lack hasn't been cleaned up, like because these choices are coming from a less than or a lack perspective, that there's always going to be more lack. But if you
Totally.
come from a love perspective and like, I'm doing this as an extension of love for myself, then there's always going to be more love. Just like what you're
Totally.
saying, whatever you're focusing upon is what you're going to get. So if you can make that connection and say, like, like, I got thrown off by this, or that something is trying to mess with me, or my own self is messing with me. It's just like, yeah, I'm probably taking these decisions out of lack. Then that's my
Yes.
cue anyways.
Yes, yes. Oh, that is such a good point because there's so many times where I used to think the action was out of love, but I was deceiving myself and taking it thinking that I knew, oh, once I do this, I can breathe again. That's completely
Mm,
twisted. It's within, so without, not out within. So eventually you're going to get more of that, more of ways to constantly have to take some action that never feels truly good and then still feeling not good enough or still feeling like you haven't fulfilled it. And that's a process forever. You can stay in that state forever, or you can stay in the state of it being fulfilled, and then any action, it wouldn't even matter at all.
mm.
It would be the right action because you're from that state. Then you wouldn't even have, most likely not, you wouldn't even have to take an action, or you just wouldn't feel like you're taking an action.
It would naturally occur. It would just show up, and you'd be like, yeah, of course. You know,
Exactly.
when I have people talk to me and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I should do this or I should do that." I'm
Mm,
like, You shouldn't do either. Don't do any of it right now
completely.
until you get into the state of being that, whatever you think that is. We are that, like, well, let's say take even the example of the gym. Like, I'm the fittest, healthiest version of myself. Can I embody that? Can I feel that? And then the choices that you take from that state, not thinking, I want to be the fittest, healthiest version, so I have to change my eating. I have to change my exercise. No, I decide to be the fittest, healthiest version of myself. And then next thing I know, I find myself drawn to certain foods, or somebody invites me for a certain meal, or
Mm,
somebody drops me a program like, oh, hey, try this new workout plan I'm doing. Like, it just starts showing up. And then you're like, oh, this
exactly.
makes sense. This is aligned.
Exactly. And I find that the coolest thing ever that has been, you know me, I used to always stress about the action, but you were right about something. The the less you resist even the process, let's say like I wanted to manifest something out of thin air, and there's seemingly some sort of process, which I mean, again, it's all within anyways, but let's say it
Right.
seems like there's some sort of action I have to take. um, I used to resist that and be like, "Well, it's not out of thin air." So then I was blocking getting to that point. So what if that one action that's out of alignment leads you to the next step of it just being completely out of thin air? Don't resist anything. Just let everything be. And I think that's also the big lesson here, and the key is the less you care, the less you resist, the more you just eventually just, instead of figuring things out, go right to the end, all of that dissolves. All of it. You don't even
It's
need to
very true. This
ever do anything.
this is very, very true. It's again, it's a it's it's the reflection, or the explanation of this teaching that, are you in the world of cause or the world of effects? If you know
Mhm.
you're the cause, and if you know what is cause, you're not doing anything actually by your choice on the physical plane. It is an after effect. It is the effect of the cause, which is your choice, your consciousness, your awareness, your imagination, however we want to call it, whatever you've been and seen and done within is going to happen on the outside.
100%. And you don't
So you
need to
don't have to
figure it out.
stress over it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Oh
was
my
telling a
god.
client that the other day, like something about like everything important in your life. Just think about it, like the things that you still do to this day, or with friends, or I don't know, for me, it was like different trainings or teachings I've taken or different, yeah, like wisdom stuff that I really like or that I've aligned with or stuff like that. Like I didn't go seeking it out. I did not go to find it. Or even relationships, like certain relationships, like how you certain friendships or relationships even come to be. Like most of the ones that have been impactful in your life, you did not go seek them out. They
Nope,
came to you.
exactly.
They can't just everybody think about it. Like after this, conversation, whatever, just think about it. The important things in your life, like how did you, forcefully go find out, or did it happen in a way that you couldn't really explain? Because usually when you think about it, it is that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. I
Even
mean, we
us
really
meeting, Sienna,
I
like
know.
all of it. It's like we couldn't have planned it.
No, no, we couldn't have, and it was so perfect, and for anyone to not see the divinity in it, it just you need to take a step back and realize that every single now moment that we've had until this point has been from you. One day
Yes.
you will see it. One day you will. I mean, I see now. You've helped me see, and I've called you in to help me see. See, that's the beauty of it, is that we're always doing this. So we might as well do it for the love of God, for the love of ourselves, to make ourselves more joyous, to be in that knowingness of who we are. Instead of playing small, we need to be bolder.
Yeah,
So,
like doing it to get things or to look a certain way or to be a certain way. Do it for the glory of God. Do it for the glory of all that is. Like, don't you want to step into that most glorious version of yourself? Like
yes,
all of that. Me, I
yes,
do. We
I do
are.
too.
I am.
Exactly. I am. We are. And you're that's the best part, is like you are going to, no matter how much you resist it or not, or you fight it or not, or you hate it or not, you're going to be doing this for eternity. So you might as well just master it and really know who you are, because if not, it's just you're just prolonging this unnecessary quote unquote feeling of suffering and pain. There's no point to it. I mean, there was obviously a point to it to bring you to more beautiful levels of understanding. But really, when you think of it, you've been there, done that. Now it's time to move on.
Exactly. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, we're over it.
We're over it. Oh my
We
goodness.
this is a lot of we've dropped a lot of gems in one
We
in
have.
one little
I think
combo.
we've dropped all the gems that we should drop for today.
Yeah, I think that's what we wanted to talk about and then some.
Exactly. Well, we have tons more to talk about.
Yeah, I love this, and if you love this, please let us know anything you want us to talk about. Hit us up, and yeah, we are here available for you.
We
We love
are. We're
you.
here in blissful love, and we will also be, if you guys want more information, we will be selling some beautiful little reminders online, as well as some packages, so that we could really kick your ass into shape with so much love.
With blissful love.
With blissful love, blissful
I
ass
like my
kicking.
ass kicked with blissful love.
Me too. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you guys. We love you.
Love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.